Why the fuck am I in the Bahamas fighting for my life because this man is following me?
Me, my sister, and my homegirl almost got stolen.
He had told me he only had $100 on him.
The people, they're very nasty. All the workers are nasty.
After like 3 more people come up, I'm like, fuck this, let's go to the other pool.
If you late bringing us back, then I missed my ship. What you gonna say?
I cried for 30 minutes while she gave me a massage.
A 4-minute taxi ride from the Atlantis to Mackenzie's, right under the bridge, was $20.
And the people who live in the Bahamas are dragging me in a comment.
It's your girl Sandy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of The World is Ghetto. Yes, yeah, welcome back to another episode. I know we have not done a vacation trip from hell in a minute, but you guys are still watching them. I be seeing you guys every day commenting on the Dubai from hell, Jamaica from hell, Italy from hell. Like, it's so many of them, but I was gonna take you to the Bahamas because guess what? If you do not know, in the past 2 months we have 2 incidents of American students, one who actually passed away in the Bahamas and the other one who got severely injured in the Bahamas. So it brought light into this situation and bringing just a whole bunch of compilations on TikTok, just to catch you guys up on speed, because I feel like a lot of people do not know or not aware, and some people just don't even watch the news no more. So I will just catch you guys up on speed. For the first 2 videos you will see is the 2 incidents that happened in May, and the other one happened in April. The one that happened in May is for a lady called Hannah Smith that got severely injured, and the second story will be for Denari McClellan, who unfortunately lost his life, and it was crazy, and the family is still seeking justice, you know. So those are going to be the first 2 videos to catch you guys up on speed, and then we'll get into the drama. Of course, I found a whole bunch of videos for the Bahamas that I cannot imagine, and some people actually getting dragged by the people from the Bahamas in the comments. So y'all be ready. I don't know, they might come up to the section and get to tumbling and rumbling, but baby, this is not my experience. This is just a bunch of experiences, so you guys take it with a grain of salt. Be open-minded and be able to just watch other people's experiences play out, despite the experience that you had. So with that being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome so much. My name is Sandy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you like the video, share it up, engage in the comment section, tell us where you're from in the comment section. Let's get to know you. And for those who've been following me for a minute, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been my day ones. And with that being said, let's just get right into this video.
Trip turned tragic for one Memphis family. Their 22-year-old daughter, Hannah Smith, fell from an excursion boat during a trip to the Bahamas. WREG's April Thompson talked with Hannah's parents, who are holding on to their faith that she will recover as the community rallies in support.
It was a day full of pride, May 3rd, when 22-year-old Hannah Smith, an Overton High School graduate from Memphis, walked across the Miles College graduation stage as summa cum laude for her communications degree. Tracy Smith and Marvin Smith are Hannah's parents.
We all met at the graduation, all, cheered and screamed her name as she walked across the stage. And then she also had a Delta performance right after the graduation, which was amazing. And she did incredible with that.
The next stop was a celebration cruise to the Bahamas with her childhood friend, Brooklyn. But that trip would turn tragic during an excursion to a private island Monday.
Right now, we're in Nassau, Bahamas. Bahamas, not Bahamas. Bahamas. And we're on a boat going to a private island.
Brooklyn told us what happened as they were on the excursion boat headed back to the ship.
I heard the splash and I instantly looked. And when she first went into the water, she just made the face like somebody fell, like I'm in the water. But she didn't look distraught. And then she disappeared for about 3 seconds. And I didn't see her. I didn't know what happened. And then she came back up and she reached out her hand and she was like, "Get me." And me and another woman we had met on the cruise ship that was on the excursion with us, we pulled her out. And then there was like a lot of blood in the water.
Hannah had fallen off the excursion boat.
She went into the water, and the boat propeller came in contact with her,
injuring Hannah's lower extremities.
She hit something when she went down or got sucked into something, and there was a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors at Doctors Hospital in Bahamas, they saved her life.
Tracy rushed to get a flight to be with her daughter.
They prepared us in saying she was critical, and they couldn't guarantee if she was going to make it because she lost so much blood.
Hannah had 2 surgeries in the Bahamas and was able to be brought back to the States Wednesday, but she has more surgeries ahead this week.
She's going to need these surgeries and she's going to need therapy. She's still critical. But April, I will tell you today, every day we've been praying and we've been inhabiting the prayers that we've been getting.
Her family now by her side and a growing list of supporters from her school, sorority, and friends, offering prayers and blood donations to help Hannah through what her parents say will be a long journey.
If people could share the GoFundMe link, because we're looking at, the quality of life that she can have for the rest of her life. And we don't want to let this accident define, her life.
Reporting for your news leader, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
We are all pulling for Hannah, and for the GoFundMe link to support Hannah Smith, just go to this story on our website, WREG.
This recent graduate of Miles College is fighting for her life after being critically injured while celebrating her accomplishment. Hannah Smith graduated from Miles on May 4th, and it was just a couple of days later, according to her dad, that she was injured while in the Bahamas. Her dad says he's still trying to piece together just what exactly happens, but he tells me that at some point while in the Bahamas and while her cruise ship was docked, Hannah went underwater during what was described as an excursion, and her injuries were caused by a propeller. And those injuries caused her to lose, quote, a considerable amount of blood. That is a problem because Hannah's blood type is O negative, which, as many of you know, is a very rare blood type, and you can only receive that type of blood. So it was today, Wednesday, that she was airlifted from a hospital in the Bahamas to a hospital in Miami, Florida. In a statement, Miles College described Hannah as, quote, exemplifying the golden standard that the school upholds. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and her father tells me that she was very involved in the Birmingham, Alabama community. Hannah has already had at least one surgery and more are planned, with doctors telling her father that she has a long road to recovery.
First on Fox, a dream vacation turning into heartbreak for a family from Bowie. Their 23-year-old son was found dead in the Bahamas hours after arriving on the island, and now the family's demanding answers. Our Maureen Ume in Bowie with the latest on what we know this morning.
The family believes that Denari McAlma's death is suspicious, but so far authorities have not ruled this a homicide. They haven't even said if foul play is suspected. So, of course, as you see, the family is very concerned. They want answers. According to the family, Denari left during dinner Friday night to grab a coat and explore the Atlantis resort where they were staying. Hours later, hotel staff came to the family's room asking if they had seen him. When Denari's phone location stopped updating, his parents began searching for him. They even created a missing person flyer, but before they could get any answers, they say hotel staff returned to their room to inform them that their son was dead. His body had been discovered early Saturday morning on the shoreline at Paradise Island, which is not far from where they were staying. The family says Denari's face appeared bruised and battered, but so far, Bahamian authorities have not confirmed whether foul play is involved. Fox 5 spoke exclusively to Denari's heartbroken mother.
When I looked at the photo they showed me, my son was beaten. He was traumatized. His face is damaged. His teeth has a lot of fraud. His hair that he normally takes so much pride in. He spent a lot of money in my products. He takes a lot of pride in his hair, full of sand. That tells me they beat my son down in that sand. I need justice for my baby. I need justice.
Well, we did reach out to the Atlantis Resort, and they responded saying, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of one of our guests. Our thoughts and condolences are with the guest's family and loved ones during this difficult time. This is an active police investigation, and we're fully cooperating." They have now decided to hire an international lawyer. They are looking for one that can help them through this process because, again, they think that something is suspicious here. Foul play is involved. They're not getting the answers they want, and so they are demanding justice.
Then they said there was an altercation, but he is okay. She and her husband left, went down to the resort, and searched all around. They could not find their son. At 2 o'clock, they came back and said there was an incident, and your son. She said, "What's wrong with my son?" The father said, "Y'all come to ask me all these questions." Then they said, "Your son died." Furthermore, they found that body.
Family members telling Fox 5 exclusively Denari McCalmont went to Bahamas with his mother and father. We're told the family was staying at a resort and Denari left his parents during dinner to grab a coat and explore the resort. Family members say hours later, staff members came to the parents' room inquiring about Denari's whereabouts. We're also told his location sharing services went inactive. That's according to family members here. Denari's parents apparently searching the resort. Family members say when they did not find him, they made missing persons flyers. We're told resort staff returned to Denari's parents' room again to tell his parents he was dead. His family tells Fox 5 his face was unrecognizable and he appeared beaten to death, found on the resort's private beach.
This is how the Bahamian people treating the Haitians and other foreigners in their country. Carefully listen to their words.
Don't tell me. Really? They're humans. They need some time. If it's a Bahamian, would you give them some time? If it's Bahamian. So what's the difference between Bahamian and Haitian? I'll be here. The color or the language? Oh, and you had baby in the Bahamas? Oh, wow.
Illegal immigrants in Bahamas can't even speak English. They have the 10-year-old boys writing up receipt. Have 2 weeks now, baby, here. Brave Davis, where are you? People on my house now. It's hard for the people. Are you serious? Take them where you live and have hard for them there. What are you dealing with good?
Okay, so Rachel, what you doing now is drawing the line between me and you.
You're alone.
I see you.
I want to see you.
Not to me, because I am get off right now. Let me tell you something. Yes, wait. Let me, whatever, if you all think I'm wrong. What I say to y'all is these are people.
Talk to the police. Talk to. I don't want y'all having no contact with you.
So I just tell you, they people too, so they need some time to get out of this place.
So you tell them what you have to, you bring them here.
Listen,
but they gotta go.
Listen to me. They're going, but they're going in the right way.
Yeah.
Procedures, not no false.
They already gave you, so if they gave you nothing, that is what you're gonna get. Because this is the supervisor, the manager, the team lead right here. What's her name? Maria. Maria just told me that corporate decided that they cannot give you anything else. So you might want to get out of line and go home. Maybe you might want to get a customer service number because they are not going to give you anything than what you have right now. Despite you sweating 5 nights every single night that you've been on this ship. This is not customer service. Y'all dead ass wrong for that. No AC. Yeah, you call the goddamn security. Get me off this bitch. You better not touch me. You better not put your goddamn hands on me. No. Leave me alone. Can you help me? Can you give me some money back? Oh, okay. I'm sweating and I'm not going nowhere because you're going to help me and you're going to help everybody else in this line. I'm not going nowhere.
What's the number?
Here it is right here. Because they told me they're not going to be able to give you anything else. And I sweated every single night. What happened? Just give me a moment. Okay.
Security.
She can call security. Get me off this bitch. You expedite me. Here you go. Before they get me, but I might end up dead, y'all.
Okay, no.
I might end up dead.
No, you're not.
I might end up dead. Here you go.
I will help you. Come on.
Don't touch me. Ain't nobody gonna goddamn help me.
I don't know, y'all better do something, but
they're not trying to do anything. But that's what I'm saying. How should they even work? They told me 2. How many days did my AC not work? 5. But they only gave me credit for 2. Here you go. Yeah. What's the name of the ship? Carnival Sunrise. They're only paying people 2 days and my AC didn't work for 5. Here you go. Don't touch me. Here we go, customer service. Because y'all waiting in line only for them to tell you that they're not going to be able to help you. Customer service. Yeah.
yeah, but they're not going to give you anything. That's the thing.
You're waiting in line and they're not going to help you. They gave me 2 nights. I want 5. 2 nights. I want 5. I sweated 5 nights. I did. I sweated 5 nights. I did. Did your AC work all the nights that you were here? No? Okay. They're not going to be able to help you. They're going to make you wait in line, and they're going to tell you that they're not going to be able to do anything to help you, that you're going to have to call this 1-800 number.
They're not even taking money right now? No. They're not doing anything to help you right now.
They're going to tell you that they cannot help you, that there's this 1-800 number for you to call.
All right, here's a funny story. So not only is the Atlantis going downhill, but the people, they're very nasty. All the workers are nasty. They used to be the nicest people in the world here at the Atlantis. So we have a cabana, and my sister-in-law, Maureen, says, does anybody want anything from Starbucks? Guess who says they want a caramel frozen macchiato? The server, who was just nasty to one of the people that we're with. She had like a little nasty comment, but now when we ask our family and friends if anybody wants something from Starbucks, she says, oh yeah, get me a caramel macchiato. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Of course, you know, we're human beings, so we're like, all right, yeah, we'll get you a macchiato, but who the hell does that as a worker? Crazy.
This is why you should never push somebody into a pool, and how Rachel Chapman's bachelorette party changed her life forever. In May 2010, she and her bachelorette party got home from the bars and they decided to go swimming. And this is when one of her friends pushed her into the pool. Rachel landed on her spine and broke her neck. She said immediately after her friend pulled her from the water, she knew something was wrong because she couldn't feel her legs. In her wheelchair, she did carry on with the wedding, even though she did have to postpone it to the following year. She and her friends also all made a promise to each other that night to not reveal the name of the girl who pushed her because of the public hate. She says she forgives her and didn't stop being her friend just because she made one reckless mistake. I mean, it's scary. People get pushed into pools all the time. Rachel continues to enjoy life and have a sense of humor. She had her first child via surrogate with her husband, and she's an outspoken advocate for disabled people and making the world accessible.
Here's why I do not recommend the Bahamas as a solo traveler. When I went to Junkanoo Beach, I was harassed by the local men to the point where I started to fear for my safety and I had to leave the beach early. I shared this experience on TikTok, and there was another woman in my comments who shared that she had the exact same experience, but not only with her, but her 12-year-old daughter. So her and her 12-year-old daughter were harassed by the local men. A 12-year-old. A child. And I was more horrified at the response of the locals to me posting my video. They were calling me a liar. They were saying I should be happy that I got attention from their men. In other words, saying I should be happy that I was harassed from their men. They were saying that this is normal behavior. And I just do not think that this is safe for solo female travelers. Not only that, the United States issued an updated travel advisory 2 months after my trip for this same beach. It included the same beach where I was harassed. The locals in my comments were more angry that I shared my truth versus being angry at the people who are harassing women and children. And to me, that speaks volumes. That shows me that it is not a safe place for women and children to visit. Because if something were to happen to you, this is the response that you literally can expect. To this commenter, why aren't you, as a man, why aren't you upset at the fact that women and children are being harassed on the beaches? Instead, this commenter is more fixated on the fact that men were offering to buy me drinks. Not even on this beach, actually. He's more upset at the fact that when I went out to the nightclubs in the Bahamas, that men were offering to buy me drinks. What does that have to do with me being harassed on Junkanoo Beach? And this commenter has been under several of my videos. I call him my #1 fan. And it's just very strange because he fixates on the fact that men want to buy me drinks. Very odd. It's very bizarre. And the funniest thing about this is that he literally makes dresses. So I don't even know, like, I don't even think you're interested in women. So I don't even know why you care if men want to buy me drinks. What does that have anything to do with you? I don't even think it's really in you to want to protect women and children. I think it's in you to want to protect fellow men. Only a fellow harasser, a fellow predator would want to protect a harasser/predator.
I'm well. Sarah. West Virginia. What? Come again? Hotel. Relaxing.
How I got food poisoning at Junkanoo Beach. So let's start from the beginning. We caught a taxi over the bridge to Junkanoo Beach, and the guy drops us off and says, "You should eat here." Mai says, "No, I want to eat somewhere else." She followed her nose and she found this place. We ate the food. The food was amazing. As soon as we started sightseeing and trying to find a bar to stop at, I felt instantly nauseous, like 10 minutes nauseous. We had to leave, and as soon as I got to the hotel, I started throwing up and threw up so much that I threw up bile, which is B-I-L-E, a yellow content in your stomach. Literally the worst experience ever.
Hey boos, let's do a story time on how I got food poisoning at the Bahamas, since the video got a lot of attention and the people who live in the Bahamas are dragging me in the comments. Because at the end of the day, I did get food poisoning, so let's talk about it. All right, so my girlfriend surprised me for my 30th birthday to go to the Bahamas. All right, on our last day, she said, "Oh, I've been to this place called Junkanoo Beach." In the comments, they're saying it's not called Junkanoo Beach. It is called Junkanoo Beach. I don't know. She said, "Let's go to Junkanoo Beach." Okay, so we got up, we got dressed. So remember this: we got up, we got dressed. We didn't eat nothing all that day. We didn't drink anything all that day. We literally got up, got dressed, went downstairs, and asked the taxi to take us to Junkanoo Beach. I believe it cost $20, $10 a person. So when we were in the car, we was telling them what we had a taste for. So he said, "Oh, you should go to this place." I believe it was called Fish Fry. So he dropped us off at the restaurant. Sorry guys, if it's not called Fish Fry, if it is called Fish Fry. He dropped us off at a restaurant, and he said, "You should eat here." So we sat down at that restaurant, and my girlfriend did not like what was on the menu. She really wanted rice and beans. She did not see rice and beans on the menu. She didn't even ask the waiter if it was rice and beans on the menu. We just got up and we left. She followed her nose, like I said in the video, to this restaurant. Now, the food smelled delicious. It looked delicious. We waited in line. We placed our order. We sat down and we ate the food. The food was delicious. I said that in the video. Okay, so after we was done eating the food, our plan was to go to the Pandora store and go get drinks so I can get a charm. So we started walking to the Pandora store, all right, and we realized because it was a Sunday, you can fact check that since y'all want to fact check everything, it was closed. Okay, so what did we do? We walked back. So from walking halfway there and walking back, about to find a restaurant to drink at, Margaritaville. I don't know where we were going to drink at. We were just going to walk back. I started to get nauseous. And I said, "Mai, I'm not feeling well at all. We have to go." So the same person that drove us there picked us up because she spotted him. We literally got in the car, in the taxi, got back to the hotel, and I started puking my life away. I am literally puking my life away. So I was throwing up all night and shit. Okay, the video was only 3 minutes. First of all, you gotta talk fast as shit in these videos just to do a story time, okay? So, I'm throwing up and I'm shitting. My girlfriend is shitting. We're literally bouncing back and forth from the toilet, all right? So then the next day, we had to get up and we had to go back home. And the same person who took us there and took us back to the resort is the same person who took us to the airport. And his exact words was, "I sent you to that place. You should have ate at that place." Because if you get food poisoning at the restaurant that he should send us to, they would have compensated us for it, because people are telling them to go there. That was his exact words. Okay, so he was like, oh, I have this thing you can drink, make you feel better, blah 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 blah. We got back to the airport. I was still sick. We got home. I was still nauseous. It took me 2 days to finally eat. So the moral of the story is, or the result of the story is, that all I ate was that one place. Even if it wasn't food poisoning, it didn't sit well in my stomach. At the end of the day, the food that I ate was the food that made me so sick. I threw up until I couldn't throw up anymore, right? And I threw up bowel. My dad was the one who told me this, because my dad is a chef, and he was the one who told me I got food poisoning. So you want to air out anybody, air out my dad, because that was his exact words, because he is a chef. He said, Danye, you got food poisoning. You're going to be okay. Your stomach is going to feel a little better until everything is out of your system. You will be fine. And that was it. I had a good time in the Bahamas. Had one of the best trips I ever had. I did get sick though, from some food. Okay? If anybody have any other questions, you can put it in the comments. But that's it. I don't know what else to say. Like, I ate the food. I felt sick. It doesn't matter if it was 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. Literally, I ate the food and I got sick. That's it. Have a good day.
If you're on a cruise ship that's docked in Nassau, Bahamas, you don't have an excursion booked, and you're looking for some authentic Bahamian food, you need to leave the port and head to what's called the Fish Fry. It's a 10-minute taxi drive, or if you choose to walk, it's 25 minutes, and it's very easy to find. It's a long strip of bars and restaurants. You will pass Junkanoo Beach on the way. Once we got there, we were looking for some conch salad, and a local told us to go to Drifter, so that's exactly what we did. Once we walked up to the stand, they immediately started making our food with super fresh ingredients. They did wash everything before they got started. This is my first ever time coming here, and this is also my first time having conch salad, so I have nothing to compare it to, but after this, I'm going to make sure I get this every time I'm stopped in the Bahamas. Now, it was $20 for a large and will include the chopped pineapple and mango like you saw the man doing. We went with a medium that was $17, and it was still a lot of food, so if you're with someone, you can definitely share it between the two of you. They're going to mix everything up, add extra citrus juices, and sprinkle it with some salt on the top and give you some utensils. I'm really glad I got out of my comfort zone and did this. Usually people go to Senior Frogs or the Straw Market, but I will 100% come back here, because the more you know, the more you go.
All right, they go straight to the beach. We got a big guy in the Goodman Bay, right? And $10 a person to go down there, and $10 a person to come back. All you gonna do, tell me what time to come back for you guys, and I come back for you, okay? Where you guys from? This from Louisiana, Texas. Florida. Where my Texas folks? Right here. Right how you just came out of Texas the other day? Oh yeah? Yeah, I had a granddaughter graduate out of Rangers College in Texas. Oh yeah? Yeah, but I'm a runner, so that's why they call me Hurry Murray, okay? Okay. Who's celebrating their birthday? Nobody. Oh yeah. You got one. And I got a grandson. You got a grandson celebrating his birthday? Yeah. Hey grandson. And my niece. What the lucky number is for the day? 46. How old?
Bahamas. Y'all got over on the beach today. Let me show y'all what's going on, right? We went to go get a little ATV rented one, right? So they're like, oh, it's brand new. It got speakers, Bluetooth, all that. I'm talking about banging, right? This bitch right here banging, right? Nice. Why the one they gave us this right here? Why the one they gave us this right here? Right? This bitch ain't got no speakers. This bitch ain't brand new. Y'all see this shit? Do y'all see this shit?
Let me tell you why I will never stay at the Atlantis in Bahamas ever again.
I recently got back from a 4-night stay at the Atlantis in Bahamas, and this place is a one and done type of place. I would never ever go back again. I really expected the rooms to look much bigger and better than what they look like given the price they charge per night, but they were very basic. The room that we stayed in the Coral, and it was very basic. The bathroom was very basic. I mean, it had a nice view. We stayed in the ocean wing, and this is just my experience from staying at the Coral. There are 3 other towers, the Royal, Cove, and Reef, that may look better, but given the price we paid, I really expected more, which was not the case here, but I just would never come back here again. Secondly, everything you purchase has a VAT and gratuity added to it automatically, no questions, whether you're buying a bottle of water, dinner, or whatever. Because of this, I feel like the workers don't even go out of their way to provide excellent customer service, and it's really disappointing because, again, for the price that we paid, I would expect more. I've stayed at better places and paid less for much better customer service. I remember one time at breakfast at Poseidon table, we had to literally beg one of the waiters to bring us coffee and tea because we were just being ignored for like 30 minutes straight, which is unacceptable. Our first night was kind of disappointing to me because our room was not stocked with any coffees or teas, and I was looking for tea to drink to go to sleep, and I had to call like 3 different times before I was able to get the tea. And when I finally got the tea, guess what? The Keurig in our room did not work. It was just, I shouldn't have to beg for coffee and tea, you know what I'm saying? And it's just really disappointing, the customer service that we received there. It really seems like what you're paying for is everything else, such as the 10 different types of pools and the beach access and the casinos and all the different types of restaurants, not the room and the customer service. And it's quite disappointing. I really feel like Atlantis is a big scam. Like I said, they will never see me there again. Let me know if you've stayed at Atlantis before and which tower you stayed in and what was your experience like.
Atlantis Hotel.
Before you think about coming to the Bahamas, they're offering you beach life. Look at that beach. And so you don't think it's the beach. That's the chairs people sit in. And you'll see even where the fish was in the previous video. There were dead fish, the water was dirty. For the kind of money that you spend here, there is no way in heaven that the beach for tourists behind one of the most famous hotels in America. You see here, this is the Royal here. Royal. I think that's Atlantis. No, that's Atlantis over there. That's Atlantis. This is the Royal right here. So these are the hotels you'll be staying in when you come to the Bahamas. This is what you get. Dirty sand. Horrible. You'd be better going to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Look at that. You gonna step out in that? Something may eat you. Don't believe everything you see on TV.
All right, guys, story time about this scam that we encountered while we were in Nassau. Okay, so you know Nassau is home to Atlantis, which is a huge resort. Like, it's ginormous. So we were staying at a separate resort and we had a rental car. So we figured we'd go visit Atlantis, but there's this little shopping center that's kind of right next to it that a lot of people go to in order to get kind of convenience items not at the same price that you would buy them at Atlantis. So we stopped off there and we got some juice, and I noticed that there was a lot of signs that said, hey, do not park here and walk over to Atlantis, because I think it's a way that people subvert like the high parking prices when you go over to Atlantis, which is fine. We were just stopping there to go over there. So when I did stop, I noticed that there was a security guard kind of eyeing us down because we look like tourists, obviously. And typically when I see anything like that, I usually beeline to that person because I'm curious as to what they're either looking at us for. Maybe there's a problem. But in this case, he was warning us exactly what that sign said, and that if we, weren't gone in like 30 minutes or whatever, they were going to tow our car or whatever, which I'm like, that's totally fine. We're only going to be here for a little bit. So that's when I carried on, went to the store, came back, and found something on our vehicle that perturbed me. So after only spending probably 5 to 10 minutes in this juice store and coming out, we noticed that there was a small little boot on our car and something taped to our window, not just kind of shoved underneath the windshield wipers. It was actually taped to our window. So I do a little closer look at the sign on the window, and the sign on the window is actually taped to the vehicle, which is a huge no-no when it comes to like security officers and police officers. They're not going to tape it to the window. They are going to put it underneath the windshield wiper, which I thought was just weird to start with. Then I go explore the boot that was put on, and this thing was cheap plastic. I mean, it looks like it was bought off Amazon in order to prank somebody. So then I, of course, go beeline to the security officer because he's the one that talked to me first. And I say, hey, what is this? We were there for 5 to 10 minutes. What is this crap on here? This isn't even a real boot. This thing's awful. Also, you've taped this sign to my vehicle, which has left a sticky residue now. So me and him go kind of back and forth. I tell him to call his manager. He then proceeds to say this is just a joke, an elaborate joke. But the sign says that if you don't pay $300, you're not getting this thing off of your vehicle. Which then I looked down the row and I saw that same thing on about 4 to 5 other vehicles. I told him if he didn't take the thing off, that I would just drive off with it because it clearly would just snap the second I drove away. So there is an example of a scam to look out for when you're in Nassau or possibly other islands.
So this is how me and my friends got stuck in the Bahamas. It was supposed to be a day trip to Bimini on the Ferry, and we took it from Fort Lauderdale, and it was really nice. The water was a little rocky getting there, but it was lit. So they take you to the Bimini Beach Club, which is $40 per person. It was dead because it was in March. Nobody was really there, but it was super cute. We were hungry, so we went to Smitty's Beach Bar. The guy was catching conch live right in front of our face. We went back to the beach club, and you know, we made the best of it. The water in Bahamas is always nice, but this is where the trip took a downward spiral. So we met a guy on the resort, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna take you around. This is where the locals chill out. I'm gonna take you to a couple of spots, get lit, catch a vibe. Bad idea, because by this time we're lit, having a ball, just loving the Bahamas. And of course, at the last minute, everybody decided to order food. So he kept telling us, you're okay, you're okay. And the next thing you know it, we're stuck in the Hilton Hotel. They ended up giving us a stranded rate, which was nice. We actually did meet some guys at the beach club, and they were like, oh, we're having a yacht party. Wasn't a party, but it was the biggest yacht I've ever seen in my entire life. It was nice. They had some drinks, and then, yeah, we stayed in the hotel. It was beautiful. And then another scary situation happened. They have an airport that looks like a freaking post office. I don't know, but I got on the smallest plane I've ever gotten on in my entire life. We were all shook, but we made it safely. So yeah, don't trust the locals.
Oh my goodness, what happened to that beautiful lady? Did she get sick on this boat? Did she pass out? Is she having a medical issue? Did she get heat stroke? No, this woman refused to get off of this boat and caused people to get sick, have to sit in the heat for long periods of time, while she sat there like a 5-year-old with her arms folded, refusing to get off of this boat. As you can see, the police had to come and physically remove her from her seat. Now, she and her mom and her son, who is about 8 or 10 years old, are passengers on the Carnival Glory. This is them getting ready to go on an excursion. Now, if you've cruised before, you know when you go on an excursion, you have to get wristbands. Her mom and her son did not have wristbands, and they were asked to get off of the boat. She refused. She even made herself heavy, stiff, and made it hard for them to remove her. So this woman police officer slid her over in her seat, got her down on the ground, lifted her up by underneath her arms. This other policeman came, and they carried her off of the boat because she refused to move. Meanwhile, her child is off of the boat on the side watching all of this, completely embarrassed, and he is in tears. This is her son standing with someone that works at the dock while they are trying to get her up off of the boat. You can see that he's clearly saddened. I know he's embarrassed, and I know this is ruining his vacation, and this is something that's going to stick with him.
Her little boy was begging her to get off of the boat, and then the little boy just walked away and broke down and started crying. And to make it worse, it was very hot. Like, I can't breathe hot. And one lady started having an asthma attack. At this point, everyone's sweating, waiting and watching this unfold. Finally, a security guard shows up that can actually lift her. And I kid you not, she lifts her up and carries her off of the boat. I've seen a lot on cruises, but this right here was the next level. The moral of the story is when you go on a cruise excursion, get your wristband, don't fight security, and maybe don't ruin your kids' vacation. How embarrassing is this for your child?
I need to explain to you what's going on at the Sandals Resort in Bahamas. I'm on my honeymoon and yes, I have diarrhea, vicious diarrhea, but that actually isn't what I'm about to talk about. I've never been to a Sandals Resort. It's literally happening right now, the thing I'm about to tell you. But I chose an all-inclusive because I wanted to do nothing on my honeymoon. I didn't want to try and travel. I didn't want to figure out plans. I just wanted to go park it. And I chose Bahamas because it's a 3-hour flight away. So I was like, okay, perfect. Let's just get on a 3-hour flight, sit down. Everything's included. We don't have to think about anything. And that's only for 3 days. And then we're going to go to Paradise Island. And I'm going to go on a water slide if my diarrhea stops. Anyway, I've never been to a Sandals resort before. 2 things I need to say. 1, the pool is fucking freezing. It's like doing a cold plunge. So like we're not sitting at the pool bar, which is my favorite thing to do because you're sitting in an ice bath. And maybe this is just a thing that I've never experienced. You cannot take 2 steps without some member of staff trying to sell you something. It's actually like, and I don't care, do your fucking job, get your bag. Like that doesn't usually bother me. The fact that this is supposed to be like a nice resort that prides itself on like really good service and shit, right? And the service is really good because there's 50 people tending to you at all times. Fine, that's great. Kidding, Joe and I were sitting by the pool yesterday. We just sat down, we're chilling. Someone comes up to us, how are you enjoying your trip? Oh, good, what are you here for? You're at my honeymoon, cool. Well, I'm with the loyalty office, so you gotta come see me before Saturday because you're gonna get 20% off on your next trip and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Less than a minute later, someone comes up, how are you enjoying your trip? Good, did you book your photo shoot yet? You know, you get a photo shoot. And we're like, no, we'll deal with that later. They're like, okay, you better come see me before the end of the day, otherwise you won't get this photo shoot. Okay. Less than a minute after that, guys, I'm not exaggerating. It was like we were sitting there, we just lied down in the sun, we just got our spot, and actually some more people come up. Hey, are you guys coming to the spa today? Haven't thought about it. Okay, well, if you want to book, you should book now. And then they just stare at you. And you're like, I'll book later. The guy comes over and just goes, hey, I'm the entertainment, want a party? And we're like, no, it's 11 a.m. We're like lying in the sun. Other person comes up, hey, are you guys going to do any water sports today? Don't come to Bahamas without experiencing the Bahamas. And Joe looks at me and he's like, do we need to go to the other pool? Like we were at the party pool and then there's like a do not disturb pool. They literally have a pool so that you don't have to talk to 15 people while you're sitting there. So I'm like, yeah, maybe we do have to go to that quiet, boring pool. After like 3 more people come up, I'm like, fuck this, let's go to the other pool. So we go sit at the other pool and one of the people from before goes, oh, you came to the do not disturb pool. Okay, I'll try not to talk to you, but just so you know, we're having this party later. Okay, fine, like whatever, you're doing your job. Then it gets to a point, privacy is up on my room. I press the privacy button. Every morning at like 8 a.m., 2 to 4 people knock on our door. Housekeeping, okay, well, no, the privacy thing is on, so you don't have to ask even. And when I started filming this, someone knocked on the door and went, loyalty program, Sandals. I'm like, why? Like you're haunted. You honestly are like afraid to like talk to the staff. You're like, what's it was the piece de la resistance. Yesterday we're at the buffet. Joe goes to the bathroom. Woman walks in and starts mopping the floor and she's like, anyone in here? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay, sorry. And then just mops the floor. And he said he was taking a shit and the mop was hitting his feet. Like she went under the door. So then this morning I'm at the buffet. I'm taking a shit. A guy walks in and he's like, hello? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, sorry about that. And then leaves. And 1 second later, 2 staff members come in and start like, I don't even know, doing everything. Like a 1-stall bathroom. So I'm like, just wait 2 seconds. Start mopping under my door. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Not take a shit in peace at Sandals. I'll tell you that. Even when I'm on my toilet in my room, there's people knocking on the door. I'm like, how many people are gonna knock on this door? It's crazy. Yesterday I was in the pool and a guy takes our picture from across the pool and he's like, what room are you in? And we tell him our room and he goes, here's my card. And I just look at him and he's like all the way on the other end of the pool. And I felt so bad, but I short-circuited. I just went, no, I am not swimming across this freezing pool. I don't even know how I got in this pool. I am freezing. I cannot move a muscle to swim across to get your card to pay you for a picture I didn't need you to take. Like it's fucking relentless. And the only reason this is notable because this is an adults only, I don't think it's 5-star, it's 4-star couples resort. Like it's supposed to be like a high-end resort and you are dodging the staff. Like it's like, you're like scared to look up at people in the hall. Cause like we're walking to dinner last night. Someone's like, all right, let's get you in the booth. Let's take a picture. It's like, sorry. And then this person's like, come over here. Let's get a photo on the merengue. And we're like, what? I won't come to Sandals again. Not because it's not nice, but because like, if you want a vacation where you're relaxing and already spending a lot of money only for people to harass you every, like literally 20 to 30 seconds, tipping everyone. You know, there's a no tipping policy here too, which is crazy. You're not supposed to tip any of the bartenders or whatever. I'm fucking throwing everyone tips. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're like those people. They tip. Get them in the loyalty office. Get a photo. Ask them to go on a fucking parasailer. Oh, by the way, someone was paddleboarding here on their honeymoon like 2 months ago and got eaten by a shark. So no, I'm not going in the ocean. Well, I'll go in the ocean, but I'm not going on a fucking little vessel. Anyway, whatever. I have diarrhea.
If you get in the water while on vacation in foreign countries, be careful. Because one of my homegirls went to the Bahamas. Mind you, she's a model and an actress. She went to a group trip in the Bahamas. She was there a couple of days. She realized that she needed to shave her legs. So she shaved her legs, and in the midst of shaving her legs, she nicked herself, like cut herself. She cleaned up her cut and forgot to bandage it up and just went to the beach. If I could recall the story correctly, she went to Pig Island. If you don't know what Pig Island is, it's an island full of pigs that just freely roam around the island. Yes, the pigs are cute. You can play with them, pick them up, take pictures with them, get in the water with them, and mind you, they shit in the water. But she went to Pig Island. The next day she woke up with like pain in her leg, but she really paid no attention to it. It was just like a pain. A couple days later, after she got back to America, she woke up, her ankle was swollen. She went to the doctor about her swollen ankle, and the doctor was like, you know, like, did anything happen in between the time that you left the Bahamas and that you got to the doctor's office? And she was like, well, I was drunk last night. Like, maybe I ran into something that I didn't know about. So the doctor prescribed her ibuprofen and sent her out. 2 or 3 days later, her leg, she woke up and her leg was bigger than an elephant. She could barely walk. She got to the hospital again, and this time they did a blood sample on her, and the results came back that she had a flesh-eating bacteria, like in her bloodstream. This girl had to get her leg cut off all the way to her torso. So just a fair warning, if you're out of the country and you have any type of open wounds, do not get in the water.
My life be like, ooh, yeah, ooh, ooh.
Nada, vidi ovu veliku, Isuse, kolika jaja, gle jaja, vidi jaja, vidi ovo. Tri mrkve. Gle jaja. Šta je ljubavi? Pa šta onda?
Okay, so come with me on the excursion to the Exumas with my friends. So first we had to go to the port, check in, get our wristbands, sign waivers, and it was time to board the speedboat. Now, when they say speed, they mean speed. I was personally having a blast. My friends were going through it, baby, but it's okay. The man assured us that once we get out of Nassau and into the Exumas, that it will be way smoother. And it was. Look how pretty it is. Ooh. Okay, so before we went to shore, the man was like, anyone who's a strong swimmer, you can get off right here. It's only like 12 feet, and then you could just meet us on shore. So I'm like, okay, bet. I'm feeling adventurous, but anybody who knows me know I hate diving into water like jumping, but I can swim. So he told me that I can get on the side of the boat and slide. Y'all look. I was like, what the hell? Let me bring it back. Y'all got to watch it one more time. I must have slid off that boat down there with Ariel in them. But anyway, eyes was watering, everything was in my eyes, eyeliner was in my eyes, but once I wiped my face, I was good, and I started having fun. I'm like, okay, it's lit, then boom.
He gonna eat your ass. He's kicking me.
Yeah, don't let him kick you, it hurts. Yeah.
Y'all, I was over it. The man felt so bad. He was like, come here, baby, let me get you a paper towel. Wipe my face off, and then I was good again. Went on by my business, and it was time to swim on shore. Now, when we got to land, that's when all hell broke out. Those pigs are so aggressive, and they will try to fight you. They will try to bite you. It only took one time for them to snap at me before I said, baby, let me get off your island. You got it. Bye.
A few moments later.
If you're a Brit like me and you're thinking about coming to the Bahamas, let me tell you something. It's fucking expensive. And also, there's hidden prices, there's hidden fees, which we don't have in the UK because we're quite, you know, open and honest about things. Not our government, but we won't get into that. So, let's say, for example, that you're going to get a cocktail that's $20. Very likely, by the way, the place is fucking expensive. Tax and gratuity won't be included in that. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why would you do that? Because they're dickheads. So, The cocktail's $20. You're going to add on 20% tax and 10% for a gratuity. So you're already chucking on an extra 30%. So that's an extra $6. Then, right, this is when it gets fun. You have to add a tip on top of that. And I know what you're thinking, the gratuity was included. Surely that's the tip. No, it's not. The gratuity goes to the kitchen staff, even though you got it from the bar. I know, it makes no fucking sense. Also, the tip is optional, but it's not. Because if you're planning on staying in a venue for, let's say, 2-3 drinks, something like that, and they just won't really serve you again, or they'll make your second drink really shit. So you need to add on an extra tip. So that's like another 10-20%. So all of a sudden, that $20 cocktail is now amounted to $28, $29, $30, depending on how big you want to make that tip. So, just be aware.
Okay, so I was seeing this guy for a couple months, and it was really casual. We would see each other like once or twice a week. And I actually started to like this guy a lot. And I felt like he was really different. A lot of qualities that I really liked about him. He just didn't seem like the typical male that I would go for, like that I'm used to. So about a month and a half to 2 months ago, he had mentioned to me about wanting to go on vacation. And also at that time, we were like talking about like how much we love to travel and whatnot. And normally whenever I travel, I'm usually traveling with a significant other or my girlfriends. And I try to travel at least once a year. So we were kind of talking about like places that we've never been to, places that we've been to. And then he kind of brought up the idea. He was like, hey, why don't we go on vacation together? So at first I thought it was a joke because we didn't really know each other. And we weren't even really dating. We were just kind of like seeing each other. So I figured since he brought up the idea, I was like, all right, maybe this would work. I was like, I've never done anything like this. And I figured, hey, why not? I mean, it sounds fun, like, why not? You live only once. With that said, I also knew that he was kind of like in between jobs, and not that he was struggling with money, but he was kind of very cautious, like the way he spent his money. But being that this was his idea, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he has money saved, or I don't know. I couldn't really figure out exactly what his plan was. So after a lot of discussion about it, back and forth, we decided to go to the Bahamas. And here we are, we booked the trip, we're really excited, we're prepping for our vacation. And a couple of days right before we're supposed to leave, he had mentioned to me, he's like, hey, I don't really have a lot of money to work with. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, we'll figure it out. Like, I didn't want to make the situation uncomfortable, being that we were about to leave for vacation in a couple of days. And also, let me preface it by saying that he knew when he met me, and we met on social media too. He knew that when we met, and after talking to me, he knows that I have a very good job, very stable job, and I also have a very good side job as well. So he knows that I make money. Not a lot of money, but I do well for myself. So now fast forward, here we are, about to get ready to go on our trip. So the next day we're leaving, we're heading to the airport, and everything's great. We're having a great time. The energy was flowing, like everything was just working out so well. So we finally landed in the Bahamas, and he had said to me, he's like, hey, how much money did you bring on you? I'm like, well, I don't really carry a lot of cash, but a couple of hundred. I was like, what about you? He's like, I only have 100. He had told me he only had $100 on him. So I was like, okay. He was like, no, that's all I have. And I'm like, so that's all you have to spend here at the Bahamas? He's like, yeah. He's like, I told you I was going to short on cash. I'm like, yeah, but we're going to be here for 6 days. We're not going to be here for a day. He was just like, well, I mentioned to you that I was short on cash. I was like, well, I didn't realize that's all the money that you had to spend. He's like, well, actually, I get paid on Friday, so I'll have a little bit more money to spend. But as of right now, we landed in the Bahamas on a Wednesday. He's like, as for now, the next 2 days, I'm only going to have 100. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we made the most of it. So going forward, I ended up paying for 90% of our trip. So I didn't really care because we were having such a great time in the beginning, we were just vibing, we were definitely really into each other in the beginning. But then I noticed it kind of started to fall off a little bit. I don't know if he started to lose interest or I don't know. I really couldn't read him that well. And towards like the middle to the end of the trip, I just noticed that his energy was off, and he kind of didn't seem like he was really into me anymore, really into like being there with me. I mean, he was kind of like flirting with other girls. He was definitely a lot more interested in like meeting people, like just different people. And towards pretty much at the end of our trip, I realized that it was more of like a friendship, which I was totally fine with. So now here we are checking out. I kind of knew where this was going. I knew that this was probably gonna be the end, that we were just gonna remain friends, which I was okay with. So that morning that we were checking out, I started to feel a little bit sick. And it wasn't COVID because you have to get tested before you fly back to the States. So I don't say anything to him because I'm thinking it's probably from all the drinking and whatnot. And so I don't say anything to him. I kind of just like, you know, we get to the airport, we check in, and my symptoms are getting worse. And I start to really feel sick. So then I asked if they had like a doctor or like a nurse on site, and they said they have a nurse. So I went to speak to the nurse, and I explained all my symptoms to her, and she was like, well, we can't let you on this flight. And I'm like, I gotta go home. And after going back and forth with this nurse, it was becoming clear that they weren't gonna let me on the plane. So I look over to the person I'm with, and he looks completely aggravated. He looks at me, he's like, are you sure you're not exaggerating? And I looked at him dead in the face. I was like, no, I'm not. So then I say to them, I was like, you know, if you're not clearing me to go on this plane, you know, can he leave? And they were like, yeah. They looked at me like, well, yeah, he could definitely leave, but why would you want him to leave? And I just thought to myself, like, look at him. After looking over at him and realizing how miserable he looks and like how I know he just wanted to leave, I didn't want to put that stress on myself. And so I looked at him, I was like, hey, just because I'm suffering here doesn't mean that you have to suffer. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, so, I mean, do you want to go home? He's like, well, I'm like, listen, it's up to you. You can go home if you want. And he was like, all right. So at that point I was like, wow, after just paying for 90% of the trip, this motherfucker wants to go home. I was like, all right. So at that point, I'm obviously clearly upset because number one, I wasn't feeling well. Like I was feeling terrible. Number two, I had to stay now because they gave me some guilt trip that my symptoms became worse on the plane, that they would have to divert the plane and everyone would miss their flight. And then now here I am, this guy that I came with is leaving me in a different country where I don't feel good. He's like, okay. And I was like, wow, this is great. So now the plane's obviously waiting for, we're the last two passengers that are supposed to get on this flight. So now they make an announcement because now they had to change everything around. They had to rechange like my flight to the next day. They had to get my luggage off the plane. They had to make sure they kept his luggage on the plane. So that took about 15 minutes and it was like out of a movie. Like I watched him walk through the gate, the door. And like I watched him walk through. As soon as the door closed, I immediately started crying. And it was like, I was flooded with all these emotions of like, is it possible that he just left me? Like he left me in another country, a woman on top of that, a female that he came with that paid for the trip. He left me there. So I'm hysterically crying. You know, the people at the airport were trying their best to help me. So I ended up having to stay another night. The lady found a cheap hotel for me to stay at. They sent me to like a local doctor. I was put on 3 different types of meds. And yeah, that's pretty much how that went. I don't talk to him anymore. I will never speak to him ever again. And that's my story.
Okay, I'm out here waiting for the tour people. I've been out here since 9:15. I'm right here, right? I'm supposed to be at the police station. That's the police station. And I see people getting picked up, people leaving. They had me meet them at 9:30, but they're not here yet, still. And I'm supposed to be leaving at 10, so they got 2 more minutes and I'm going back on the ship and I'm going to get a refund. Hey everybody. Okay, so it's a story time. I'm back on the ship. And look, this is the view. I just left the bar to get me a little cocktail, but so I can tell y'all about this story. Okay, now where do I start? I left the ship early today. We're in Nassau. I got 2 back-to-back cruises, and I was gonna do on my other cruise. I went on this cruise. The next cruise I went on this cruise before, but I didn't have a chance to explore the ship like I wanted to. So I was gonna take that time when we in Nassau to explore the ship and do videos. So the excursion I want to do while I was in Nassau, I planned for this cruise so I can go out there half the morning and then come back for the afternoon and explore the ship and hopefully it's still empty some. Right? That was the plan. So the tour was set for 10 a.m. I got the email saying that, okay, we meet at this place by the fountain and stuff like that at 9:30. So I left out a little earlier because I also had to stop at the ATM to get money, which then I couldn't find one. So I just said, okay, well, when I'm on a tour, they go somewhere that got an ATM. Fine. The tour's already paid for. So I'm over there waiting. Now, anybody who know Freedom Murray? No? I don't have no patience. So if you late, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm talking about severely pissed. I ain't gonna cuss you out like that, but I'm just not gonna do business with you. That's just how it is, you know. So I'm out there. I get out there like 9:15 because I wanted to walk around a little bit too before I, do all the other stuff. So then I get back to, I'm just sitting out there waiting around. They said there'd be signs out there. They'll come get us. Whatever. Nobody come. I'm seeing people get picked up. I'm seeing people getting picked up. I'm seeing people getting picked up. There's some other people out there waiting too. It wasn't just me that wouldn't get picked up, but still, 9:30 is 9:30. I wasn't even planning on coming out there till like 9:50, which would have been better. But y'all, I'm all about time, especially when you're paying money. Okay, so I'm out there. So another group of people was like, they had another tour set up to do the city tour around town and eating to the food tour. So they was talking, they person was late too. They was saying they was supposed to be out here with a sign with them, for them and all this other stuff. That's fine. They just waiting around impatient and stuff like that. I was out there longer than them. So I don't know what they was all anxious for, but either way, I told them I'm getting up to 10 o'clock and that's what time the tour's supposed to leave. If they're not here by 10 o'clock, I'm going back to the ship. And me, once I say I'm going back, right? I already set up. So 10 o'clock get there, I walk back to the ship, because it's not to do on the ship anyway too. And plus I haven't explored this ship either. So I could explore the ship and do some videos of it. So I get back to the ship, like I'm walking up the thing. At this time it's 10:15 as I'm walking up the ship. Why I get a phone call? Guess who it's from? It's the tour guide. He like, hey Frida, with his accent. I love accents though, so I'm still mad. So I'm like, yeah. He like, where are you? We here waiting. I said, yeah. And I was waiting on y'all. I've been out there. I was out there from 9:15. Y'all said 9:30. And I left at 10 because we were supposed to be leaving at 10. He goes, oh yeah, go give me some shit. Talking about the traffic. Sir, you live here. You know the traffic. You know how the traffic is. You still should have been here at 9:30. How I'm on a cruise and supposed to go on a tour with you and you don't understand time. You being late at any point, you could be late bringing us back. And if you late bringing us back, then I miss my ship. What you gonna say? Traffic? Like you don't know how traffic work? Like you live here. So let's fast forward. I just told him, he's like, oh, well, are you coming? Like, no, I'm back on the ship. I'm walking back on the ship as we speak. He said, yeah, but are you coming? No, I'm just gonna cancel it. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. So like now I'm gonna have to cancel. And I booked this under my travel agency myself. So they gonna have some words for me. You better believe it. And I just didn't feel comfortable going on the tour if you don't understand time when I'm on a time limit. And this limit is serious. You know what I mean? Because if I miss the ship, that's me. You have to pay for arrangements to get back or meet them I can't even meet them at the next port because they on private island. So yeah, I will be out of days and out of money. So no, I don't want to go on the tour. I'm gonna cancel it because that's how I look at it. Or am I crazy? Because like if you late even come to get us, and my phone wasn't working over there either. My phone only worked on the dock, like it worked at the port, and it works in the on the ship of course because I got the Wi-Fi package. But no, like the only reason why he called me through WhatsApp, the only way he was calling me through WhatsApp is because I was back on the ship. If you would have called me over there, how long I was supposed to wait over there? To attorney for the people I didn't even know. They don't have no port set up like, oh, this is Paradise Tour, this is that, this and that. Everybody else coming on time, they even coming before. So why you late? I ain't doing business with you. So that was our short excursion trip, very short. So I guess when I go on my next cruise on Monday, I will be doing that cruise then, but it won't be with that company. So that's my story time for today, y'all. Have a good day. Enjoy that cold weather. I don't even know if I'll be back to it because normally I'll be back because I scheduled days already. So I'll be back. But I'll be back here again. Bye.
Security. How you doing? You alright? Your mama here? Miss Davis? Yes. 1 minute, please. Okay. What did you do? 1 minute?
Okay. Put the thing on the go. Got one shoe in.
Alright. Madam?
Oh, I got your money I was holding. I gave your card to the security thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I kept your money in case I seen you.
Okay.
Because ask them. But did you get your card?
I got my card from security.
Okay, yeah, I got your money.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, I hope I see her because I asked what she already.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, I kept it.
Alright. How you doing? This is your mommy, right? You all look alike. That's why I asked. Alright. First time here in the Bahamas? Enjoying yourself? Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright.
I said, oh my God. But I kept it in the thing so you would see. I kept it in the thing
Thank you so much.
Because I said she had pink hair.
Yep,
and
that
I was
was me.
scared to give it because you have no name on the card.
Nope, it don't. It only say only got symbols on it or something.
Yeah, and then they said something about you was on a cruise or something. So I said, I hope I can find you are on a cruise. Yeah, because I said I hope I can find her name so I can give it back. But let me give you $10 too.
Okay, so story time about how I got robbed or stolen from in Freeport, Bahamas. A lot of you are confused, and I'm confused where the confusion is coming from. We're both confused. The lady was a tourist. I never said she was a Bahamian or lived in the Bahamas or lived in Freeport. She was a tourist staying in a beautiful resort. I'll show it here. I know that's a little clip, but let's get into the story because I gotta get these eyelashes removed. They are not giving. So I'm gonna start from the beginning of that damn day because it all ties together.
So, we make it to Freeport. Yay, I'm on the Carnival fucking cruise, y'all. It was lit. We was in that bitch like, So, boom. We get off the boat or whatever, and we're making our way to Pirates Cove. That's a little beach that's out there. You gotta pay like, I don't know, like $7 or $12 to get in, get your little wristband, and you in there. So, I see this dude. I need some... That's what I mean, listen, hold on. So I came with no party favors. I just came with my little wine party favors, as in, you know, there's people up there selling that shit, but I was like, cool, got what I needed, but I'm off the boat now. Let me see what I can really get, okay? So dude approach, he like, you need, I got what you need. I'm like, yes, you got Cash App? Why did I ask these people, do they have Cash App? I do not know. These people do not have Cash App. I met one person that had Cash App. He said, I'm literally the only one out here that has Cash App. Nobody else knows what the fuck it is. I was like, cool, I need to get some cash, but first, I'm about to get on this banana boat. Y'all, that banana boat was boo. No, we was lit on that banana boat. I ain't even gonna lie. I seen Johnny Depp little house. It was cute. It was nice. So after my little banana boat, I found him. I was like, sir, yes, I need to go to the ATM though. Where the ATM around here? He was like, there's one 5 minutes away. I got the whip. I can take you. I was like, oh, sir, I don't know. Mind you, the day before this, I was in Nassau, and me, my sister, and my homegirl almost got stolen. Like, that's a whole nother story. Little skeptical, but I'm not getting back on that boat for 2.5 more days without it won't happen. It was not happening, Captain. It won't happen. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to risk it. I'm just gonna fucking go. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go. So I go. The ATM is 5 minutes away, like he said. Cool, nice little vibe, nice little car. Hold on, wait, let me insert. He was cute. It was a nice little vibe. Don't mind me, I'm driving now. I gotta get to my appointment. Let me hurry up. There might have to be a part 2. But we get to the ATM. I put my card in. Their machine is completely different than ours. I do not care. I was so confused. The security guard lady helped me. Shout out to her. Shout out to them, that team, period. Shout out to them. But the lady, she walked up to me. She had 2 kids. The little girl whispered something. I didn't hear her. And her mom was like, oh, my daughter said that she liked your hair. And I'm like, oh, thank you, babes. Oh, you're so cute too, little baby. Yeah. Okay, so this is part 2 to the story time about how I got robbed, stolen from in Freeport, Bahamas. So yes, like I said, the little girl, she said, oh, I liked your hair. We interacted for a few, and I walked away. The guy that I was with, he's like, oh, let's go to a bar real quick, get a few drinks before I take you back to the beach. I was like, okay, cool. I like you. Cool. So we get back in the car. We go to the bar. It was really nice. He got me a mojito, a strawberry mojito, and I never had one of those. It was really good. So we sitting chilling at the bar. Then I'm like, oh, look at the time. It's time to go. But we walked by a shop and I seen some backwoods. And look, I'm from VA, Hampton, Virginia. I want me a backwood, okay? Go in my wallet, look for my card, is not there. Like, in that same moment, my phone dang, and $110 was being withdrawn from my card. I was like, hold on. In that same instance, we both looked at each other like we seen a ghost, like, did you leave your card? I was like, I think I left my card in the ATM. Left my fucking card in the ATM. I get there, the security is like, oh, thank God you're back. Here's your card. I'm like, where's the money that was drawn with it? They're like, the money? I'm like, yeah, the $110 that was drawn with it. Where is that at, please? Thank you. She was like, no, the lady just came and she gave me your card. You left it in the ATM machine. She didn't give me no cash. Like, she didn't give me any cash. I'm like, damn, she got me $110 fucking dollars. She really withdrew $100, but the ATM fees out there are damn near $10. So that's where the 10 came from, where y'all were acting. So the security guard came. He's like on the phone with the security footage team or whatever. They're getting the security camera for the ATM, and you literally see it clear as day. Her beep boop boop pull out her card, acts like she sticks it in, gets the money out, pull my card out, put her card back in the wallet. Her card never makes it into the ATM. I'm watching all of this. I really wanted to get the footage to show you guys, but the guy was like, no, I don't want any of that going on. And I was like, it's okay, as long as you help me get my money back. If not, then I'm really gonna need that footage to dispute this. Like, no one's just gonna believe little me. I'm gonna need that footage. So this ATM was linked to that resort that she was staying at. So we went to the actual entrance of the resort, and the guy that was staying there literally just said it was raining. So she literally just caught a ride from the dude at the front desk on the golf cart because she had 2 kids. So he's like, yeah, I just gave her a ride. I can't remember her name. Remembers her name. Pulls up her room number. And yeah, I got my $110 fucking back. She said she was gonna give it back to me. She said she was gonna find me on Facebook. Bitch, how you gonna find me on Facebook? Oh, you got pink hair. You're not hard to find. I just went along with it because they were being so nice and patient with me. I just wanted to do the same thing. Sorry for the fucking confusion.
My drink is done, but for those saying you can't travel when you have a baby,
That is not true. Far from the truth. We're doing it now with a 2.5-month-old. She over there crying. But at least she crying in the Bahamas. Rich laugh. Yeah.
Okay, y'all, the story we've all been waiting for. I'm about to tell y'all why I would never go back to the Bahamas. I went through a travel agent and I had used her a few years ago when I went to Jamaica, and she was fantastic. I picked the Bahamas, specifically Atlantis, because it was kid friendly and they had like a toddler water park. First of all, when we got to the airport, they told us that our flight was canceled, and then they said that it was delayed. And then they told us when we arrived in Miami, we would have to catch 2 trains and then a shuttle to Fort Lauderdale and then fly to the Bahamas. So that was a lot. Well, anyways, we arrived. Because our plane was delayed, we almost missed our transportation from the hotel, which was included. So we weren't happy about that. But they finally got us on. We get to the hotel to check in, and the receptionist says, "I need your card to put $750 down." I said, "For what? Everything's already paid for." And she said, "Yeah, but we put a $750 hold on cards because that's what we predict you're going to spend here at the resort." I was pissed because I had no knowledge of this at all. And how are you going to tell me how I'm going to spend my money? Like, homegirl was not trying to give us our room keys, just for us to find out that the toddler water park was closed for renovations anyways. And they didn't put that on their website at all. Also, the lazy river was closed. The food was overly expensive. They purposely shut down the smaller restaurants at like 1:30 p.m. and for you to get drinks as well, which forced you to eat at places like Nobu or order room service, which was also super expensive. Like 3 pizza slices and 3 canned drinks was $60.
All right, you guys, I just made it to the Bahamas. You feel me? So let's see how this go. Bro, this place looks so unreal, bro. This look like Disney Channel or something. All right, y'all, we finna go do jet skis. You know what I'm talking about? We about to go to a whole nother island right now. Private little motherfucking boat. Y'all know what time it is. Oh yeah. You know what you got on? Yeah, I'm gonna get some more. It's crazy. I'll take care of them. All right, you guys. So I give that Bahamas. I give that a 10 out of 10. No lie. Like, they got loose pigs. They got jet skis, ATV riding. They got everything you can think of here, bro. So I'm not gonna lie. I gotta come back here again. Like, if you live here, you got the best city. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, best city so far. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, Bahamas.
Hey y'all, just wanted to give some things I wish I knew before I traveled to Nassau. If you notice my eye is swollen, don't forget to pack your allergy medication because you never know what you're going to eat you might be reactive to. Non-drowsy, of course. Another tip, sometimes your carry-on can be a free check bag if you're on a full flight, which is really great. Another thing too, have a pen so you can fill out your immigration arrival card because a lot of times they don't even have pens up there. The transportation is horrible. I do not recommend. I hate it. The getting around the island is very, very hard. So make sure you're aware of that. Gratuity is also added on everything. So if you want to tip on top of that, you're more than welcome to. Your excursions, please make sure you don't book your excursions today. Well, you book it on the day of, because if you book it in advance, it might get canceled due to weather. So make sure you're mindful of that. As far as the food was amazing. Customer service was really, really slow. I didn't really see like a sense of urgency, which I get. It's an island. Everybody's more relaxed there. So I didn't really trip on that too much. But the customer service did kind of get on my nerves a little bit, especially when I was hungry. But it is what it is. But those are like some small little things. So how was your experience when you traveled to the Bahamas?
Ooh, how much fucking fun is this?
Thank you. So when they come in to take a photo of the car, right? Yes. They are. We don't just on the car. Thank you for the service. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know what he's doing. He said he was gonna come up here or something. Yeah, don't come to this spa ever. They're $1 billion industry and they couldn't cost me $7, which is crazy. And that's the fucking asshole. This fucking place is retarded. Literally retarded. And I'll tell you all about it. Oh, I will. I'll make sure to tell you guys all about it. It's so pretty. I'm having a blast. Yeah. Okay, TikTok, so I'm feeling better and not crying as much, so. So I can talk to you guys now. So basically my day today in the Bahamas has just been shit. So it all started from this morning. I had a 10:30 appointment, go get a 30-minute massage, okay? And they didn't tell me that they only do half the body and that it was only gonna be my shoulders, my neck. They didn't tell me that. So boom, I'm upset because of that, of course, you know. Then it goes to, you know, that's a shitty massage that happened. Like she did my calves and my thighs. That's it. So I paid $150 for that. So I complained about it, and they said what we can do is give you 40% off, okay? So boom, 40% off of a facial. The facial was gonna then be $115. I only had $108 on my card. My eyes look great right now. My eyes are just popping a little bit more because I've been crying. But anyways, so boom. I get the fucking, so $115, right? Boom. I go back for my appointment at 4:45, and I tell them I have $108 on my card. I'm $7 short. They couldn't even be nice enough to comp the $7 fucking dollars, okay? So they make a big deal about that. That right there just put me into a spiral of being really upset and embarrassed and sad, because I was like, it's $7. Like, I didn't give myself a bad massage. She did. Like, it's your guys' fault. Just $7 is fucking fine. You're $1 billion industry. You can give me $7 fucking dollars. So I have to start calling around and asking people and begging people, which makes me feel and look even more stupid and embarrassed, okay? And I know what you're gonna say. Oh, well, the customer that you're with could have paid for it and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, could have, but I didn't want that. You know why I didn't want that? Because I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to pay for myself, okay? I'm sorry, I'm trying to be independent. Pay for the whole trip. I don't want to just keep asking and asking and asking, okay? Then boom, that happens. Finally figured out I can pay the fucking shit. So pay them their thing. Then I go and they're like, okay, this is your esthetician. She's going to do your facial. Now, mind you, when I was having the conversation with the manager about the 40% off, a different facial esthetician came over. She was like, I can do your facial today. And he was like, I'm going to make sure you get the best of the best, blah, blah, blah. So it's really good. I said, cool. The lady that came up to me was not the lady that I thought was going to be the lady. I was like, hey, I thought I was going to get someone else. This other girl throws a fit and doesn't want to give me a massage or give me a facial because I asked for someone else. But the other person wasn't there. So she was like, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like you. You can't take it personal. I didn't say I didn't want you or anything. I just simply thought I was getting someone else. I'm going to make another video to kind of explain this a little better, because I know I'm all over the place and my brain is just frazzled right now. But you guys might say I'm being overdramatic. Why does it matter? Why are you crying? Why is this? Why is that? Whatever. But basically, so then I'm upset and I'm hurt because this esthetician doesn't want to work with me now, and I just had to go through all of this just to get $7 and then for her to back out. And I'm on vacation, and this is like a whole planned trip. This is my last day. I can't do it tomorrow. I can't do, another time. Like, I wanted to relax and have a good time, and it's all going to shit. So, and then plus just the trip being bad altogether, everything. So basically I cried for 30 minutes while she gave me a massage. Yeah, so my eyelashes look like this. This isn't from water, this is from tears. Anyways.
Me and my family, we are never going back to the Bahamas again. And I just wanted to quickly explain why we chose to stay at the Atlantis versus all the other hotels, because there are other hotels there. We are a Marriott family, so when we travel, we like to stay at Marriott hotels so that we can continue to earn points and keep our status. So even though Atlantis is technically not a Marriott hotel, they have some type of partnership with Marriott. So when we checked on the app, it was either the Courtyard, which I believe is downtown, or the Atlantis. And so my husband's reasoning was, the kids want to go to Atlantis because Atlantis is every kid's dream vacation. So he was like, if we stayed at the Courtyard and did a day pass, it would cost like almost $800 for the four of us, because a day pass is like $250 per person, which is ridiculous. So he was like, it's better for us to just stay there and just have access to it the whole time rather than having to get a day pass, rent a car, but the Bahamas is very expensive. Rental car is expensive, gas is expensive. I think gas is like $6 per gallon or something like that. So he was like, we'd just rather stay at the Atlantis and have access to everything rather than just, go back and forth. So that's why we did that. And now that I know, like I said, I would not be going back. So it doesn't even matter that I know now. I'm just, spreading the word for you guys who want to go there in the future. And thank you for your comment. Anyone who sees this, please stay at the Comfort Inn under the bridge. And we actually went to Mackenzie's for dinner one of the nights, and a 4-minute taxi ride from the Atlantis to Mackenzie's right under the bridge was $20. Like, Bahamas is just ridiculously expensive. And I mean, I get it, it's beautiful, but no, I've been to better places that cost way less. So yeah, that's why we stay there.
On Paradise Island in the Bahamas. I have been wanting to go to the Bahamas since 2016. I am a huge fan of a good lazy river, so I had to come try it out. One of the things that I did not like was the fact that the rivers are not connected. So when you come to the end of one, you have to get out and walk over to the next entrance. Now, it's not too far, it just kind of messes up the flow of the lazy river. Now, you don't have to get out and pick up your tube because usually there's empty ones on the other side. I was wondering what the commotion was up ahead until I saw the huge gush of water coming from the left. This created some pretty big waves. I noticed some people were being thrown out of their tubes. This is where I realized what the two handles were for. Nobody had on life jackets. The water does calm back down and you start floating along. Then you come up on some caves that you go under. Then you head up a conveyor belt that slowly lowers you back down into the water on the other side. At this point, I can hear the rapids. But of course, I'm thinking that can't be rapids. Sure enough, rapids, including rocks. I had to put my phone down and hold on to the handle.
I took my bougie kids on vacation in the Bahamas. We stayed at the Core at the Atlantis Resort on Nassau's Paradise Island. This is day one of us being there. We had an early morning flight and we made it to the resort around 11 a.m. We checked in, changed the swimwear, and headed to the marina to grab lunch. I had the Bohemian Spice, which is a shredded chicken supreme pizza with pineapples and spice. It was definitely a 7 out of 10. It could have been spicier. Then we walked through one of the many aquariums to cross over to the Royal so we could take pictures on the famous Love Swing. It was a must-do photo op for us, and we did it, but we also came for the slides. Like the Shark Serpent Water Slide that starts out dark in the Mayan temple, but it ends with you in a see-through tunnel that's submerged in a shark tank. And you know how time is disrespectfully fast when you're having fun? Yep, it's dinner time, and our taxi driver was also a teacher, so he told us if the taxi doesn't have taxi on the door and TN on the tag, don't get in. For dinner, we went to the strip called Fish Fry. One of the workers at the resort recommended for more cultural food, and it did not disappoint, but that's another video. She got her Cuban cigar like she wanted, and we ended the night with Ben & Jerry's with the girls.
Go to the Bahamas on a budget. I don't know if there's such a thing. Well, what you can do is book months in advance, and number two, you can buy like prepaid gift cards for food, which you get like 15 to 20% off, so that helps. VAT tax is 10%. Tips are 15, then you got to give more, obviously, so you're at 30-40% of tax basically on whatever you do around here, so you can save money that way. And then final way is to go grocery shopping local, where the locals shop. If you do that, you're gonna save the most amount of money, come here on a budget, as much of a budget as you can, and then when you work out, they give you free water. So you can't beat it. Atlantis.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we have another one, another fight on the Carnival Cruise Line. But this time, oh baby, let's talk about it. Now, I came across this information and it states that, I don't know if they're all family, but not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not even 10, but 18 to 19 people I counted got kicked off of the Carnival cruise ship for fighting. Now, let me tell you this. They were in the Bahamas. They left them at the Bimini, Bahamas port. Yes. Okay. Now, that is crazy. Okay, that means the cruise was so fed up of your BS that you have to go like right now. Get your ish and get off. Listen, when I seen the video, these people were on the dock with all of their belongings, luggage, everything, right? They look like they were kind of, standing around trying to figure it out. And then like security came in some vehicles and, was kind of, getting them to get off of the dock, like it's time to go. But in my other video, we did not discuss when the cruise line kick you off at a port. Let's talk about it, right? Because if you get on Carnival cruise ship with your birth certificate and then you get kicked off at a port where a passport is required, it gets a little complicated. It's going to get a little complicated. Not even just talking about trying to pay for the flight home.
The day before our cruise, my sister's wallet got stolen with her ID inside. No ID, no passport. All my sister has is a photo of her ID on her phone and her birth certificate. We're really hoping that that's enough to get her on the ship. Otherwise, our first ever sister trip is ruined. Our only plan right now is to walk up there, hit them with the puppy dog eyes, and pray they let us on.
The whole wallet got stolen. Yes, everything is. I have a credit card on my phone, thank God. I have a picture of my license. I have my birth certificate with me. What got stolen where? At the airport. Before I could even get to the hotel.
At this point, they're telling us if we get a police report, they might be able to help us.
They were helping her look yesterday, but they didn't suggest the police report.
Quick rundown of what exactly was in the wallet. Was 2 debit cards in there, but an Amazon credit card. $400. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, $400. Yes. But that report should serve. Hopefully that helps you out. Don't sorry about your wallet.
Thank you so much.
He was able to give us not one, but 2 police reports.
He literally made it.
Why the fuck am I in the Bahamas fighting for my life? Because this man is following me. This man is literally following me. We had to turn around and go the opposite fucking way. This man is still there. Running behind us. No. Not today. I ain't making it back home.
A few moments later.
Guys, if y'all see this man, he snatched us up.
Is the Bahamas safe? Well, if you've been watching the news media lately, you'll find that the Bahamas, Jamaica, and some other places have a travel advisory. The fact is, we spend 7 months a year here for charter season, and the violence that you hear about is gang-on-gang violence, and it typically takes place in the Overhill district of New Providence. Now, I'm going to be doing a video on this tomorrow, showing you not only is Nassau safe, but there's a lot of really cool stuff to do here. And I want to show you some of those things tomorrow. But if you're scheduled to come on a cruise, a charter, just a family getaway, know that the Bahamas is safe. Nassau is safe. It's no more dangerous than anywhere else. And again, the violence is gang on gang. It's not on a tourist. So I come here with confidence and know that you'll be just fine.
Shark attack in the Bahamas. 20-year-old Riley Decker was on vacation, singing and dancing on a boat in Bimini Bay when she and her 24-year-old friend, Summer Lehman, decided to go for a swim.
We were swimming to the ladder, and I kind of felt something nudge my leg, and I looked at her and I was like, what was that? And we kept swimming, and then I felt a tug on my leg, and I knew right then and there that I was bit.
their friends racing to get them to safety.
Our friend Austin, he pulled, but I had no strength in my leg, so I couldn't get myself up. So he grabbed me and he pulled me on top of the boat. He wrapped the towel around my leg and a rope for a tourniquet and held it until the medical professionals could come and help me.
Riley thinks she was bitten by a bull shark.
It was very scary, and the fear of thinking, you're gonna die in the moment.
While Summer turned to Riley, she didn't realize she was bitten as well. The top of her foot, likely by that same shark.
We both were panicking in that moment. I didn't realize that I got bit until they started screaming that my foot was shredded.
The two women eventually airlifted to hospitals in Florida. Riley has undergone 2 surgeries so far. Her family saying she will need at least a third.
All we can do now is just be grateful that we're still here, because it could have ended very differently.
This latest attack coming as the busy spring break season kicks into high gear. Though attacks are still rare, experts say warming waters are bringing sharks closer to the shore.
Most sharks are cold-blooded, and the warmer water often improves their metabolism, their functioning, and so many of them will actually go to areas that are warm water, especially in cold times of the year.
The other thing that brings them closer to shore, fish scraps. People go fishing and clean their fish when they get back to the marina and then often dump them back in the water. So our expert warning people to be aware that can draw sharks in as well. He told us anytime you get in the ocean, you are entering their home, and remember, they could be there.
So my mom and I flew to Florida to my grandparents' house and visited them for a couple of days. Me, my mom, and my grandma then left my grandparents' house and drove to Miami because we're going on a girls' trip cruise to the Bahamas. It took us about 5 hours to get there with all the traffic and everything. So we made it. We had kind of gotten through security and everything, and then we just went to customs. And then at customs, while we were getting checked in, they checked me in, they checked my mom in, and then they were going to check my grandma in, and they said that her passport was expired. So my grandma is freaking out, obviously, and so are my mom and I. Her brand new passport was at her house, and my grandpa had sent a picture of it to her. Customs obviously doesn't take expired passports, so my grandma thought she could just have a picture of her new passport and that they would let her use that, but they did not. The only other option for her was to have a photocopy of her birth certificate, and then they would print it out, and then that would work. Unfortunately, my grandma does not have her birth certificate or a copy of it, so my grandpa was scavenging the house. We were the later check-in onto the cruise, so we only had 2 hours till the cruise left, so we were scavenging. My grandma was born in Oregon, so we tried to call the place in Oregon where you can get a copy of your birth certificate sent to you. We ended up being on hold for an hour and a half, if not almost 2 hours, and then finally somebody answered. We also had really bad service in there, so it was really a struggle to even get the phone ringing to even call this place. But time is ticking, and then they forced my mom and I to recheck in, and we had to go get on the ship. And of course, we are getting all checked in, the place from Oregon picks up, we get a hold of somebody, and they are emailing over her birth certificate. Time is literally ticking. My mom and I need to be going to get on the literally walk into the ship, and we're just waiting for this email just to see, because it supposedly what came through. So we had gotten an email, but nothing, the birth certificate would not pull up. The front desk of customs was trying to help us out, but it was literally too late. We had to, they had to close it down. So she ended up not being able to come. It was the most devastating thing ever. We have had this planned for weeks, and that's all she would talk about. It literally broke my heart. So my mom and I had to just go on with the trip. We had to go. We gave her big hugs. She's crying. She's bawling. So was my mom. It was so sad. I literally never want to experience anything as devastating as that ever again in my life. But my mom and I had to just make the most out of the trip, obviously, since we had already paid for it and we were on the cruise ship. We definitely had lots of fun, but I did just feel so guilty and sad the whole time since my grandma could not be there. So anyways, always make sure that you have the right passport before you leave to triple check it, and I hope none of you guys have to experience anything like this.
Your mom spots the TikTok famous Bahamas bartender.
Guys, this is crazy. What was supposed to be a fun vacation to the Bahamas for these best friends turned out to be a complete nightmare. Their names are Amber Shearer and Dungayla Dobson. So on Sunday, they made a stop on Grand Bahama during a Carnival cruise. After they got off the ship, they took a taxi to a local resort. And while there, the bar had this buy one, get one free deal on drinks. So they each got one. And they said that just a few sips into the second one, they started to feel weird and they knew that something wasn't right. And they were taking videos of their fun and sending it to friends and family. And 15 minutes after they started drinking, people were responding to them being like, how much have you had to drink? Are you sure you're okay? So they finished up and they went to the beach to look for seashells. While they were on the beach, a male staff member of the resort approached them and said that he knew of a really good place where they could find good shells. And then the next thing Amber remembered is a guy forcing himself on her. Like she came to while it was happening. And as if that's not bad enough, after they reported what happened to them, the Bahamian authorities treated them like crap, like they were criminals or something. They wouldn't do a test kit on either of them, but they did do a toxicology report, which showed numerous DRUGs in their system that were obviously slipped in their drinks. The toxicology report also showed that they had hardly any alcohol in their system. The authorities were able to quickly identify the guys thanks to surveillance footage, and come to find out one of the guys had only worked there for about a week. Last month, the U.S. State Department increased the travel advisory for the Bahamas due to the increased violence on Americans. The cruise line is cooperating with the Bahamian police, and the girls are just wanting everybody to use extreme caution when traveling to the Bahamas.
Tragic news coming off the coast of the Bahamas. 18-year-old Cameron Robbins, who was on a graduation high school trip from Louisiana, has gone off the side of a ship that was used for a cruise off the Atlantis Hotel. He was last seen either jumping or falling off the ship. I've gotten conflicting reports. Some reports say he was clinging to a life raft, but at this point he has not been found. The U.S. Coast Guard, along with the Bahamian forces, have been searching for him for almost 24 hours. A prayer circle was formed for him back at his high school in Louisiana, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. We hope that he's rescued, but as of right now, he is missing, and there is a serious presumption that he will not be found.
This kid fucking jumped off! Oh my fucking god! Oh, bye bye! Oh shit! That's hey, the buoy! Hey, the buoy! Yo, this kid's fucking gone, bro.
Boat is sinking. So that's fun. Everybody's freaking out. Literally sinking.
Turn now to the horrific scene unfolding in the Bahamas. A ferry carrying about 100 passengers, including Americans, began to sink. A 74-year-old woman from Colorado did not survive this. Here's ABC's Victor Kendo.
Tonight, the horror aboard this ferry in the Bahamas, leaving one American dead. About 100 tourists enjoying their vacation when the boat, taking them to the popular Blue Lagoon Island, suddenly begins taking on water.
Everybody's freaking out.
Passengers recording the chaotic scene,
Literally sinking.
yelling for help. Life preservers thrown to those overboard, the catamaran clearly listing to one side. Nearby boaters responding quickly, plucking people from the water, rescuing passengers and crew members from the sinking vessel, and taking them to the nearest dock. A 74-year-old woman from Colorado found in the water unresponsive. They performed CPR, but she did not survive.
Alright, y'all, with that being said, my opinion on this video is like any other vacations, I would say, especially the ones that you go where first off, there's a large body of water. If you don't know how to swim, there's no reason why you should be in a huge body of water and you don't know how to swim. Like, that's first things first, because like y'all seen, a whole ship, was it a ferry or the boat, it just sank. And unfortunately, one lady, which she was older, even if maybe she knew how to swim in her earlier days, maybe she was too old to be able to save herself, you know. And yeah, that's just one of the big things that could happen, you know. So I would say Make sure you know, make sure you get them swimming classes. Make sure you're already prepared for anything. Make sure you do your research before you go to these places, because another thing, a lot of people don't know how expensive it is to go somewhere, and then they get hit with the because they just didn't do their research. They just thought, oh, I make more money here than there, so I bet it's gonna be cheaper there. No, son. That is a tourist destination, so you best believe you probably gonna be paying way more than even where you come from, like your country or whatever. So another thing I would say is, yeah, just be prepared with your documentation. I was seeing some people were just having like photocopies and pictures of their documentation, and like one lady said, like what if you get kicked out at one point and the other point is not, you know, that literally requires a passport or like identification at hand, you know? There's so many instances that I've learned from this video that I can't even mention like all of them, but those are the ones that stood out to me. And oh yeah, one more, the lady who was invited on a trip with a guy who had $100, and you said, and the first thing that sis did was wrong was she accepted, and she was like, oh, okay, how the hell $100? I don't care if they're getting paid or nothing, especially if you're bringing up the conversation. I mean, I'm not saying that it was supposed to be for the guy to, you know, pay for you or whatever, but like if you are initiating a trip, how the hell you gonna just have $100? Like, make it make sense. And then the lady just to be like, oh, okay, we could go and I could do, girl, that was your first wrong move, because there's no way. And I understand that sometimes you can help a man out or whatever, but like $100, that's not even enough for like a Uber. Like, that's not even enough for the ticket. Like, what is $100 gonna do? Like, you know, so it just shows a whole bunch of like unpreparedness, and it's absolutely not right, because you can't just put all that baggage on one person expecting them to take care of your whole trip, get mad when they get sick, you know? It's the entitlement for me. But like, I mean, you get what you get, you accept it, and it went that far. For me, I would have been like, off rip. When I just see 100, it's like, nah, we gotta save. Then we gotta save, at least we both get to an equal range where we both can either pay for our own stuff, or, you know, if someone is helping or chipping in more, it can be a little, you know what I'm saying? But baby, as soon as I hear $100, baby, let's just close the door. We're only talking about your dreams and hopes at this point. We ain't got the money on. Let's just know we're hoping and dreaming, honey. Let's just close the chapter and go back to the drawing board. Let's start saving good. Let's start looking into like what we gotta get. Cause I was looking at Atlantis, girl. There's no way, what? Yeah, but anyway, this is me, like my situations, and I hope you guys have learned and a lot from this video. If you have any experiences in the Bahamas, leave them down in the comment section. Despite if you had a good, bad, ugly experience, leave it down in the comment sections. And for those who come from the Bahamas, don't be eating up people in the goddamn comments just because they have their own experiences. I mean, it's just not gonna land nowhere, you know what I'm saying? And for those who will try to come from me for the compilation itself, honey, I wasn't there. I was in the Bahamas. I just found the videos, put them together, and the information is out there. So yeah, this is all that I gotta say. Okay, so for those who have enjoyed it, have come to all the way to the end of the video, I want to say thank you so much, you guys. We are on the grind to 30,000. I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that right now. Make sure you share this video up, make sure you like it up, and yeah, spread the awareness. To each one teach one, like I always say in all my videos, is each one teach one. It's not to bash nobody, it's just to bring awareness and to just, yeah, keep the informed okay, and the misinformed informed, period. Yes, so with that being said, I know I haven't been a lot on this channel. That's because I've been doing a whole bunch of vlogs, especially this past weekend for Memorial Weekend. I have a whole bunch of vlogs for the whole weekend down to after Memorial that I'm gonna drop on the Slash by Sandy live channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the Slash by Sandy live, make sure you subscribe, because I'll be dropping that vlog this weekend, y'all. Like, I promise y'all I will. Like, I trust me, it's not easy to put them videos together. I just be doing my best. And now that I'm handling 2 channels, It's very exciting. I want you guys to catch up with me to see like when I'm not on here, like what do I be doing. So hang out with me on the other channel, because baby, I had a time. I brought you guys to, y'all was in my business, and we had a good time. So make sure you subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to this one too, this channel and the other channel, period. So with that being said, again, thank you so much. I'm super grateful for all my supporters. You guys are like amazing. Like, I see you guys every day. The people that never fail to comment, never fail to like, never fail to, like, you know, engage with other people. And I want to say thank you. I don't take that for granted. Like, those people who like literally see the notification, they're on my video like that, I really want to say thank you so much, because without you guys, like, the engagement wouldn't go the way it's going. Like, it's because you guys believe in my work, you guys believe in these compilations, and I know it'd be a lot to put these videos together, but you guys really are the ones who encourage me to keep going. Like, I didn't even know I was good at putting compilations like this together that make sense and, you know, gives different sides. So you guys really give me that motivation, and I want to say thank you. If you've been a person who spread positivity in my channel, I want to say thank you so much. You are much appreciated, because those are the vibes we want to have. We want to have positive vibes, and I know we have a lot of drama, but yeah, we can have drama. Drama is there. We cannot avoid drama, and let's be honest, drama sells. A lot of people love drama, love to see what's going on, but despite that, we have positivity. We learn a lot. So it's how you think about it. You know, you can call the world ghetto, but is it really ghetto? No, because you see different sides of it. So it's just how you see things. Okay, yes. So with all that being said, again, thank you so much, you guys. Don't forget to turn on your post notification bell. I'll be dropping some more videos this weekend. Promise I will drop some more videos before the month ends. And yeah, let's turn up, let's run it up, let's run the numbers. I hope you guys stay blessed, and see you guys in the next one. Bye. I got short nails this time, y'all can't hear it.
Hey Zuma, you taking off?